Alright, you ready to play Resident Evil 5? I'll be first player.
No, I'll be first.
No. You had it last time. It's my turn.
I'm gonna be first.
No, you're not. Like I said, I don't know you first. It's only fair.
What are you?
No.
What are you
No.
I'm
No,
gonna-
it's my turn. My turn. You always get first player.
Siblings, am I right? I'm sure you all know what it's like. We today are gonna go over our top co-op games, cause siblings, and we hope you enjoy this. Let's get right into it.
Yeah, so it'll be his top 5, my top 5. Let's flip the coin and let's see what it is.
All right, it's time.
Tails.
We didn't even call.
We didn't even call. I'll go then. It's Tails.
Tails.
All right. So so let's start off with number 5. Which on my list is going to be Skylanders. For those of you that don't know what Skylanders is, it's basically this game where you collect figures, you put it on this portal, and you enter basically this world. There's like Spyro and all that, and it's an adventure game. There's a story, there's like mini games and characters of each element, and it's a game that could be played by anyone. It could be between two brothers, two sisters, two friends, or a parent and child, and it can connect with all those people. So since the story is goofy, it's goofy enough that a child can understand it, and a parent will find it just so stupid, to be honest, that you just can't help but laugh.
Yeah, I think it's a good experience of a game too.
It is, and it's one of those games where like you could collect an army, you collect them. It's almost like you're collecting cards, but instead of figures, you show them with your friends. Like, oh, let's play the game, and you'll each play with your own different ones. Yeah. Like some of these up here, they're Skylanders.
Yeah.
All these right here, from here all the way to here, are Skylanders.
Yeah, that's my collection. Unfortunately, yours we don't have down here.
Yeah,
but-
mine's in my room.
Yeah, but I mean, to be fair, like the game in general is just a really fun one. So I love playing it.
And over the years, it had new additions to the series, which had new games. Like I think it was Swap Force, which had like an arena, which was really fun. Then there was like Superchargers, which had like a different element of it, where you like where you did races, whether in the water, in the air, or on land, and it was really fun.
Did you put this low for a specific reason, or?
The other 4 games are just definitely better overall, and even are more co-op based. It's just the reason this is lower on the list is because there is, to a certain degree, a paywall with having to get certain Skylanders. Because if you could try beating the game with the 3 they give you, or in the past they gave you the pack with the portal for the game, but you kind of would struggle because especially early on.
Yeah, I mean, look how awesome they look. So it's obvious you're gonna want to get more, especially for us like collectors. It's even worse.
Yeah.
So
they drain your money.
While it goes bye.
Yep. But we all had favorite Skylanders. Me and him growing up, and all the elements. It was really cool.
Yeah. I think my favorite is still Punk Shock to this day, and will always be Punk Shock.
Yeah. One of my the first one still just can't be beat though, in my opinion, because the first one is just so fun.
It's a good game. It's also got the hardest boss.
Yeah, the hardest final boss, because back then we obviously had to rely on parents for giving us stuff. We didn't work or anything, but so we would have to only use the armies we had, which when we had like less than 12 Skylanders and we're little kids playing a game, we're gonna get cooked. So
yeah, we did indeed get cooked.
Yeah,
a lot.
Chaos was just cooking. Usually just merc,
left and right.
Yep. So you're up.
So for my number 5, I'm going to DC for a bit here. The game that I chose is Teen Titans. So I played this game on PlayStation 2 with you before. Then we lost that copy, I think, and then we played it on GameCube after. So we played that game a lot. Like, I think we've beaten it a couple of times, if I can remember.
It was always really fun. And the biggest thing about it is it's the old Teen Titans, not the new one, Teen Titans Go. It's the old one with their old personalities. Well, They still kind of have the same personalities, but a little more adult, a little more fun.
Yeah. To be fair, Teen Titans Go wasn't even a thing when that game came out.
Obviously.
Yeah, that came out in the prime time of like when the Teen Titans movie I think came out and stuff like that. I could be totally wrong, but you know, in reality, it was I don't know what the genre of the style of combat is. If anything, the closest way to consider it is Ultimate Alliance or the Nicktoons Unite games, like that type of style. Except
It's kind of like a beat 'em up, but from top down.
yeah, almost not exactly eagle eye, but more like angled that at a little bit of a top view. It's and it changes depending on where you are.
Kind of like a Baldur's Gate view.
Yes, that's actually, even though that view changes, it's like the standard, the default view of Baldur's Gate 3. And I mean, I love DC superheroes. I know you love the Teen Titans stuff too, so it's a good combination.
It was really fun, and I like the characters, and each of them have their own ability, power, so you're never all gonna feel weak. It's not like one of them's weak versus the other. They're all really fun to play as.
Yeah, and each character has a level up, so you unlock them, which is rewarding.
Yeah. Exactly, and I think there's other characters you could unlock too, if I remember correctly.
I believe so, but they're only not in the story mode. I think they were like free play type thing. You know, play the levels at your own pace, kind of like Lego Star Wars.
Yeah, like Lego Star Wars.
Yeah. So
let's get into number 4.
Cuatro.
Alright, so my number 4 is a game we have mentioned before, Castle Crashers. So now, for those of you that haven't played this game or haven't looked it up, it's basically goofy. It's basically a side-scroll adventure with the boys, with your friends. There's stupid boss fights with that have their blood when you start beating them up. There's cartoons. There's like a deer that launches itself by literally crapping all over itself, or like a crap rocket.
Yeah, the little poopy
deer that's running away from a giant cat. Like, so goofy and stupid.
It's kind of a trip.
Yeah, and then the ultimate betrayal of your friends, like when you save the princesses and you have to basically see who gets to kiss which one by fighting each other to the death. It's so stupid.
Behemoth did an excellent job with it. It's crazy because the game, even though it's like co-op, it feels very old school too in a way, with that little new twist to it. Yeah, and they definitely do a good job.
And all 4 of you, or 2 of you, or 3 of you, or even just 1 of you, which why would you play this game by yourself? It's better with 2 people.
Absolutely.
You just scroll through the different A's, and it's like the levels, and then it's like Mario where you select like the level, and then it's almost like old school Zelda where you have to unlock certain items to reach new chapters in the game. And speaking of that, levels are goofy, the bosses are goofy, the enemies are goofy, but the weapons, like you can unlock a giant lollipop, a giant piece of broccoli, a dead fish that you could use as a sword, a chicken on a stick, a ribeye, a leaf, etc. On top of you could get like a lightsaber, which they literally label lightsaber, a golden sword, an axe.
Yeah, don't ever forget the pet system at that point too.
Yes, there's like all the different pets you could get too. They give you different buffs.
I think they did an excellent job with that game. It is the perfect co-op game. Well, obviously not on this list perfect because we got higher games, but it's very good.
Obviously, originally when it came out, there was a paywall behind it. You had to buy like certain DLC characters, but even then they were rewarding because some of the characters so goofy. Like there's a bear you can unlock, and it's literally just a bear that its elemental power is shooting out fish. You could play as a skeleton or just a random peasant, like with literally a spear you get, or pitchfork, not spear. There's like a demon that literally like looks teeth all out and just looks so goofy. So there's a lot of goofy characters. There's like the Pink Knight, which is like his power is like very like love, and like all his animations are
shoots rainbows out and stuff. It's very stylized, and I like that game. Each character feels unique, and it really adds to the co-op experience. Yeah. So if you haven't played it, check it out. We're probably gonna end up playing it eventually. So
we need to. It's really fun.
Yeah, it's inevitable.
Yeah.
It's a smile on my face for that one.
Anyway, you're up.
So my number 4 is a game that most people have probably heard of, you know, while going to arcades, or if you were pretty old school and you had a Dreamcast or something back then. House of the Dead. So there are, I believe, 3 in the series, at least that I'm aware of. I don't know past that point. But the reason why it's on this list for me is because it's quintessential co-op game. You don't play that game alone and have a good time. You play it with other people, like going to the arcade and picking up the guns at the little stand, and with you and your buddy just going to town. For us, like we played it, I think, years ago for the first time before we even played it in an arcade, and I barely remember it, but
it's perfect for co-op because you need to work with each other. It's like you're aiming at the screen. If there's this big guy coming, you can't just one of you focus on the little guys. You both have to take him out, then focus on the little guys.
Yeah.
Or you got to cover your side of the screen, and you got to trust your partner is covering the other side, because if they mess up, they get hit, you both get hit, whatever, And
then it goes downtown from there.
Yep. Once one of you's out, then it's basically one of you covering the entire screen.
Yeah.
Can be done. People have done it, but it is a lot harder.
I mean, it's a lot of precision, a lot of memory, because you have to remember all the spawn points, and each level just gets increasingly difficult. Plus, I love the concept of how the boss fights work. It was always fun when you would see the boss fight and they would show like what the weak point is, and then both you and the other partner, in us case, we would have to aim at the head of like the first boss or something like that. And it was a very difficult game. So the reason why it's low on the list for me is because I don't think I've ever beaten any of them.
No, I remember even as adults we were playing it like a few weeks ago or a few months ago. I don't think we got that very far.
We got destroyed.
Yeah. We, I think, lost on like the second level.
Yeah.
So
it's probably going to end up in our nostalgic gaming at some point.
Oh, yeah. And we're going to be stuck on that because there's no difficulty. There's no sliders. There's no nothing. You can't just boost your aim speed or your damage.
It's very old school. I mean, it's meant to be an arcade game. So
it's
that's
very fun.
It's very arcade, which is perfect for a co-op setting.
So why is it...
lower
than your other games? Just difficulty and
I would say because one, I haven't beaten it, and two, as much as I do have the nostalgia of playing it at arcades and also at home, the impact is more based off of aesthetic and memory compared to the actual quality of the game itself.
And why is it above your number 5?
Because Teen Titans, as much as I love that game, as I started to play it later, I realized its faults. Like, it's very, very buggy. Like, very buggy. And not to say that any of these games on the list are probably the same, but, that lowered Teen Titans for me. So
yeah, last time we played, one of us, like, fell off this elevator by a glitch, and then we couldn't progress, we couldn't move. It doesn't, like, teleport you back up. You're just...
Yeah.
You have to do the whole mission again.
Yeah, basically.
And it's not really that many checkpoints.
Whatever
only if you die.
Coding they set up, they I guess their playtesters didn't go into it that much at the time when the game released. But House of the Dead, I mean, they did pretty well. Yeah.
So let's move on to number 3.
Yes.
So number 3 is Borderlands 2. And a lot of you are like, oh, Borderlands 2? Why is it so low? You would think it's like 1 or 2. Well, because 1 and 2 are really good to me. But the reason it's above Castle Crashers and Skylanders is because I just played it more. It was very difficult deciding these top 4 in order, and I eventually went with whichever one had more of an impact on me, or whichever one I played more, whichever one actually fits the theme of co-op, where you have to play with more people. And Borderlands 2 definitely fits that. There's weapons galore where you fight bosses, raids with each other, and it gets crazy, chucking grenades, shooting with rocket launchers. There's people hacking the game to get all these infinite weapons or crazy damage weapons to beat bosses. Like, I remember you've done it once or twice.
Yeah,
with
I did it on the PC version because, like, I mean, it's PC. It's like I want to have that control on my games there. So,
but not only does multiplayer make the game more fun, because it's not just you sitting like, oh, yeah, different to the story, ha ha ha. But everyone's laughing, everyone's having a good time, and it also makes the game easier.
Yes,
easier because there's different abilities. Like there's Zero where he like shades. There's like Ashton, whatever his name is.
Ashton's from the first one.
Oh.
The turret guy.
Yeah, the turret guy who
Ashton,
places
yeah,
a
yeah.
turret
Axton.
die. Axton, I think it is.
Yeah,
But then there's Maya, who has her siren abilities. And then there is Salvador with 2 guns that just shoots.
yeah.
He's like 4'11", I think he is. They said,
Yeah,
or
he's
like
like
5.
very
He's very short.
he's very short, and the akimbo combinations are just kind of insane.
It's
You don't
funny.
use snipers on akimbo though.
You
can,
but it's just goofy. Just so.
Yeah, it's like
And you
two
don't have to
very
reload
long.
while using that.
Yeah, the class system is very good.
The different abilities, the upgrades you could do, and it makes each character necessary. Because then this character could do healing, this character could do this character could do that. Almost like a party in an RPG. Well, it is an RPG.
And it makes sense you're bringing this up as a co-op game because thinking about it, it's inspired by D&D, I think, a lot, and that is the party board game type thing. So it makes sense for a video game like that to have that impact as a good co-op game. I mean, I played it a lot too, so I'm surprised.
Yeah, we as kids played this a lot. I remember back on Xbox 360, we would play it online with 2 of our friends. And one person would be the second player, running around, jumping, goofing. One of us would die. We'd be like, "Oh,
get the DLC and do that." Yeah,
there's all the DLC, the different bosses, our enemies, and you're like, "Ooh, what's that? That's
So-
a giant bug sticking out of the ground, about to eat me."
Honestly, the game had a lot of content too for a co-op like scene. I mean, you can play it single player, but it obviously has much more of an impact when you play it with at least one other person.
Yeah.
At least, so.
And also, just like I was suggesting earlier, like it's just funny because there's characters like the psychos that literally say like, "I'm gonna eat your face for pizza," or there's literally a character called Butt Stallion, which is Handsome Jack's stallion, which is just made of diamonds. Right here. Yeah. Yeah, but you have it from a sequel.
From one of the sequel games.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is.
It's literally just a diamond horse, a literally living, breathing horse, just made pure out of diamonds.
Diamond pony.
Yeah, diamond pony. But it's just so goofy.
Yeah.
And the villain is good too, Handsome Jack.
One of the best video game villains, in
Yes.
my opinion.
Of all time, he definitely is.
Yeah.
One of the best ones.
Yeah.
But
it's good, yeah.
there's also like the cosmetics, the skins, all that. You could just run around with your friends. One of you looking goofy, one of you looking badass. The other one looking scary with like demon horns or whatever.
The possibilities feel very endless, and I think that in that type of setting, that's really good because like you upgrade your character like an RPG. You go out and you just wreak havoc while there's a good story.
You could sit and play that game for just hours and hours and hours until you have to go to bed, wake up, and rinse and repeat.
My favorite NPC is like Shooty McFace. Yeah. And he's just asking you to shoot him in the face. That's a quest.
Shoot me in the face! In the face! Do it! Shoot me in the face! Face, 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 face! Now! Bullets in the face!
That is a quest.
Just to shoot him in the face.
Yeah, just shoot him in the face. It's Hanai's voice, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we were watching that. Yeah, yeah.
Hanai's voice from School Rumble.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what's your number 3?
So my number 3 is a PS2 title that we used to play a very long time ago. I don't know if you remember a lot of it because it probably was like when you were very young. Ratchet Deadlocked. Mm-hmm. And so I actually don't play many of the Ratchet games in the series, but that one, because it was the first one to have the co-op system, just made an impact. Like I remember us being able to play it. Like you go out, you do your quest, and then while you're also working together to build complete these objectives that are given throughout the story, and at the same time competing for a score, like who gets the most amount of bolts was the currency system, if I remember.
It was just really fun doing all like the little mini games and stuff. It was basically just Mario Party, except for you're in a lava infested area, running through mini games, and you're just one of you is just Ratchet in armor, and the other's Ratchet in different color armor.
Yeah, and there's a lot of vehicles and stuff too, so we could just fly around, drive around, just destroy everything, and the arsenal was huge too, if I remember right. It was like maybe 9-8 weapons. Yeah,
it was very like carnage based. You were just like wanting to create chaos. It was fun.
I'm all for chaos, so
Anyway,
It's definitely a good one.
why is it higher than the other games?
More of an impact personally. Like you brought up before, how these games impact us like individually. I think Ratchet Deadlocked on PS2 we played a lot of, so it definitely has that impact. And for a game that surprisingly is a series that I don't really follow as much, um I noticed it's made that impact, because I bet you if we go back and look at our saves on the memory card, we'll see how much was actually put into those games. Like it was a lot. So, and it's a good co-op game because you could just do everything together. So it's definitely on the list, higher than the other ones for me. Doesn't make it to the top though, because the next two I think more meaningful.
Yeah. So let's go on to the top 2 each. So, speaking of impact and meaning, this is on number 2, partially because it's the first game where I officially won. Because growing up, me and him, it was always everything was on his account. It had to be on his account because otherwise he would bitch that it's not on his account. So this is the first game we actually first played together on my account, and that is Resident Evil 5. That's part of it. Another reason, it's the mainline Resident Evil game that's meant to be 2-player. It's meant to be co-op. Because you have to work together in literally so many aspects. And it's literally, the story is Chris Redfield with Sheva Alomar, a new character in the country of Kijuju, a fictional place in West Africa. And you could share ammo mid-fight, like trade ammo. Like, oh, you got the sniper ammo? Yeah, I need it. And I'll go sit up there and perch while you just shoot them with the submachine gun or whatever. And then you could trade weapons, because maybe this upcoming section, he needs to, if he's playing Sheva, he needs to go up top while I'm playing Chris, and I need to go on the bottom. So he has a shotgun, I have a sniper. We swap ammo, whatever, and that's how we do it.
The scene for that game, because like Resident Evil 6 was co-op too, but it was more straight action, while this game had action, but it was still horror. And when we played that, we were still relatively young, so I think that impact also like really helped the game. It was like cool. It's like a scary action game. We've beaten it countless times, did everything we possibly can. I think everything we possibly can. Not to mention we're fans of the Resident Evil series by then too.
Yeah.
So
it was just really, really fun playing it. I remember when we first started getting through the bosses and stuff, it was just fun running it together, swapping weapons, and it definitely improved our communication with each other, because it wasn't just us arguing with each other. We were playing the game. We were like, oh, wait, Gabe, go over here. Wait. Watch out. I need some help over here. Or you got some heal? Let me go get you. Just helping each other out.
Getting grappled by enemies and needing you to help out and beat them off.
And I still hear Sheva in my ear. Chris.
Yeah, that game low-key has a lot of PTSD installed in us, just from the screams of your other person in the game, asking for assistance with every few seconds.
Chris! Hurry up! Hurry up! Chris!
Roger! Come on!
Hurry up!
Come on!
Come on!
Come on! Come on!
Hurry up!
Come on!
Hurry up!
Come on!
Come on!
Come on! Come on!
I also had to put this on because it's literally how I wish Resident Evil 4 was, where basically the other player is just actually doing human actions and can actually defend herself with weapons too. That's the kind of sections you have to picture when you think about the sections where you're separated. Where it's like where Leon's taught, for example, in the castle in the remake, where Leon's putting Ashley on the pedestal and she's getting chased. She has to open up the bridge and all that. Think about that, except for Chris is shooting the enemies below, and then Sheva's just shotgunning all the enemies as she's walking over to the things. Yeah. That's literally Resident Evil 5 versus Resident Evil 4.
Yeah, instead of being the protector, it's more like a team. It's actually very partner based. And then the story embodies that too. So it's a very
the final boss
well-done game.
The final boss, Wesker, you have to each hit his weak points. So.
Yeah, and you're separated for almost the entire fight.
For the first half of it.
Yeah.
And speaking of that boss fight, that's literally just Chris punching a boulder. to punch it over to then roll it down a hill so Sheva could then join him in the center stage.
That man is a weaker version of Saitama, but he's still there.
No, Chris would punch Saitama.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'd punch him like a boulder.
Oh God.
So
Saitama, no.
yeah, the reason this is above the other ones is just because it's the first game I won, and also we played it so much. We beat it so many times, getting different weapons. Sometimes he was Sheva, getting all the outfits, or sometimes I was Sheva, or Chris, whatever.
Had a very good aesthetic too.
And it's one of the reasons why Chris Redfield is my favorite character in Resident Evil. Fun fact.
Makes sense.
So let's get to your number 2.
So my number 2 is actually a game I think that's on multiple consoles from the PS2 era, but the one we played it on was PlayStation 2, and it's funny enough, it's a SpongeBob game. It's SpongeBob Lights Camera Pants, and you know, a game like this up there, it's very weird because one, it's not like this massive title game. Like I think when most people think SpongeBob games, they think like the single player ones, South or Bikini Bottom, the movie games, stuff like that. But Lights Camera Pants is essentially almost like Mario Party mini games, and it's very it's a very simple system of how it works. You go in, you have different locations you have to go through, starting to the first one, and each location has 3 mini games for each place that are dedicated to that. So Krusty Krab, Goo Lagoon, Driver's Ed, the list goes on. The Chum Bucket was another one. And it's all based on the characters of SpongeBob that you could choose between, you know, the main roster of people in the show, trying to get roles for a movie.
Yeah.
Whoever wins the mini games gets that role in that scene. So technically, one person can get all the roles if they win that much. So
it was such a goofy game, and I remember we would always be very competitive with that.
Yes. Oh yeah. I mean, it called for it, definitely, for sure.
Yeah.
It definitely.
No one wanted to be the one to lose.
Yeah, no one wanted to be.
We
or
hate
you at
being
least,
losers in this house.
You at least wanted to beat the NPCs. That was a big thing.
It's like us now, where it's like at least we didn't lose to the NPCs.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how we win.
That's what a lot of maturity does for us, because back then it was way more intense back then. That's for sure. Playing them.
Yeah. So speaking of intense, let's get on to number 1. My number 1 is a game that there was no way in heck this game was not making it on the list. We got Left 4 Dead 2. So, one of the best co-op games of all time. It still has a thriving modding community, creating weird mods or weapon skins or whatever. It's basically a game meant for 4 people. You have the 4 characters, Nick, Elliot, Coach, and Rochelle.
Mm-hmm.
You play through maps and campaigns, literally healing each other, deciding if you need the stim or the painkillers or whatever, and who gets what gun, going through it, covering each other. If one of the special zombies attack, you need someone else for you to break free. It's really meant for that. And the reason it's number 1 is we definitely played it the most. We beat it a million times. We even one time went through like a modded campaign map together.
Oh yeah,
a lot of fun.
Yeah, on PC. We were having split screen issues though, because the game doesn't I think have
on PC.
On PC it's not meant for the split screen, but console it was.
Yeah.
To be honest, my first experience was on console with it.
Xbox 360.
At our cousins, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember we would be, and the way you save companions is you would revive your dead companions through rescue. Mm-hmm. So you would like rescue them. They would be in a locked room and all that. So even if you die, you need other people to get back into the game.
This is when like co-op was becoming a really big thing on 360 again.
And even to show how much it's meant to be that, you can't beat the level until everyone's in the safe room.
Or at least everyone alive, I think.
Everyone alive. That's
everyone
what I mean.
Alive. Yeah.
Like everyone alive. Like if you're the last one alive, you close the door, you're good. Yeah. But if there's all 4 of you and one of you is still at the beginning of the game, you're done. You can't do anything. You could close the door with 3 of you, and you just gotta wait till he dies or lags out, whatever. But it's one of the best games of all time for people, and there's reasons why.
You know, it's surprising to me that I didn't have it on the list, but at the same time, I guess for me, the only reason why is because as much as I have played that game co-op, I've played that game solo a lot.
One is the loneliest number.
So that's why I guess I wouldn't consider it only like more of the co-op game for me, because it's meant for co-op. It really is. But you know, being the type of guy I am, I mod the living like shit out of it to the point where like
You can't run it.
yeah.
And then there's also the game mode where you have to play as the infected and you have to stop the survivors. So not only is the survivors doing the usual campaign where they're working together, you have the infected walking around like, all right, I'm now spawning in as the charger. There's this part where you could charge them off the map. Let me get them up, set them up. One of you be a hunter, drag them out. Keep them in that room, and then you just charge, knock them out.
Just destroy them.
It's really fun. It's sick. I like it.
Yeah, it was a very good way to abuse the system of how like the game was made, and it was very fun to play. And it's crazy because games like that now aren't really made very often. I mean, they did Back for Blood.
It was fun with my friends when it was like free for the beta on like PlayStation, but it wasn't like fun enough to play it multiple times.
I think I have it on PC. They like gave it to me on some bundle or something, and I was like, oh, sweet. I have not played it. So
it's a game you need 4 people for. Left 4 Dead, Back 4 Blood, any one made by
actually
in that style.
Funny you bring this up because Aiden actually said that he wants to play that game again.
You guys should.
It. Yeah, I want to.
Oh, Aiden, when you're watching this, let us know if you finally got the chance to play, and if not, grab Gabe to play.
Yeah, I want to play in the Splash Mountain mod map and just run around with Titanfall guns and
all the mods.
Destroy everything. Have Shrek be the charger. Why not?
Yeah. Anyway, you're number 1 now.
This is on this list because it's, I think, quintessentially meant to be a co-op game. Also, it's also, I think it won Game of the Year when it came out. Little Big Planet. So yeah, this game, as much as it also impacted us, I feel like it also had like a very big impact on the gaming community for me, at least. Like Left 4 Dead 2 did actually very much as well. Also, you know, for me, Little Big Planet, it was the type of game that let me still connect to my very childish side of gaming. So being able to, you know, go around, make my character look the way I wanted, you know, the Sackboy to look, and be able to play with other people and with my brother a lot of the time, and we would play community levels.
Those were the best.
Yeah, it was cool to see what the community made for people to just download to their thing and play.
Like there were some levels that were so hard. There was like fun levels where you just like parkour, or they were named after certain like games that were actually going on. There was like Uncharted levels, Assassin's Creed themed levels,
movies too.
Movies too.
Yeah,
there was like Matrix themed levels, Matrix
for kids.
Yeah. Tricks for kids, but no, Matrix levels and all that. So it was just really fun, and then you can make yourself like Ezio and Ezio's clothes from Assassin's Creed 2, and then you could put it in an Uncharted game or level or whatever, and it was really fun.
It was very innovative because you could use stickers and stuff for your costume too. So you could put like a feather on your head and like just like make your whole body like a big ball of feathers, you know. And
it was competitive too.
Yeah. Yeah, it was very fun.
Because like at the end, like you saw when we played it, like there's that leaderboard. Well, in Little Big Planet 1, 2, and 3, there's that leaderboard too, and you can decide who wins that.
The difference with Sackboy Adventure and that Sackboy Adventure is more like a 3D platformer, while as much as Little Big Planet is still 3D platformer, it's more side-scrolling platformer. Yeah. And it was very innovative, and
there was like the paint gun.
Yeah, there was all different things, and people were used to go in like pitch black and have to find things, and it was a game that low-key I kind of would be down to play again. Actually,
I wish the servers are probably still online. They're definitely not.
No, the community stuff's probably not. But.
Yeah, but the community levels, if they were, I would like to go back in time and play it again in its prime, in its peak. It was so fun.
We used to look up a lot of the horror ones too.
Yeah, we would try watching the horror ones.
Yeah, but no, this game makes the list because I think it makes the most impact, and it's also one of the ones I remember we played a lot together the most.
I thought of putting on the list, but these 5 to me, they're just like also really good.
Yeah,
These are really good, and I wanted to give them some representation, especially Skylanders.
Yeah, a game that needs more representation.
And a fun fact about Skylanders Giants is the best-selling one of all of them. And it's one of the more popular games.
That's the second one, right?
history. That's the second one, yeah.
That makes sense.
That one was really fun. The giant characters were all really like cool.
Some of your favorite ones. That makes sense.
Tree Rex was pretty cool with the little
Yeah.
blazer and then just the giant hand. But anyway, that's been our list of top co-op games. If you guys have siblings or had to play with a girlfriend, boyfriend, friends, whatever, and let us know what your top 5 co-op games are. If we got them wrong, if we forgot some of them.
There's a lot out there.
And this is also games we have played, so there could be a game that's top 5 for you that we have never played. So let us know about that, because maybe we get around to playing it.
There might be games we played there too that also... I feel like for me, this list was also trying to hit more towards our younger years compared to like the modern ones, because there's a lot of great ones now.
Yeah.
That,
like an honorable mention for me, I know we're not going to really go in detail, but it was going to be like Time Splitters or Army of Two. Both games meant to be.
Yeah. Both meant to be co-op.
But anyway.
Yeah, we had a great time talking about this. Actually,
Yeah,
I feel
it was
like
really fun.
It made me go down memory road a lit. Memory load. Yeah, memory road for a bit, and it kind of it felt cool to talk about that since it was like
we like sharing these topics with you because it's nice.
I mean, it's also cool because I don't think we would have been here if none of that experience. So
Anyway. Please remember to like, subscribe, share, and
hit that notification bell.
Yep. But we'll see you guys next time. I've been your host, Chris.
And I've been your host, Gabe.
Were you struggling to say your own
I was for a second there. I felt like there was like saliva in my mouth.
He was about to say Gib. So it's been Chris and Gib. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. Logging out.
Peace out.